Hello and welcome back friends. Welcome to another video from Shamu's Biology, and in this quick short video I'll be talking about the different types of chromatography that we know of, and in future videos we'll be talking about each of the individual type of chromatography in more details. So this chromatography techniques can be divided based on many different parameters and stuff, okay, but majorly here we divide them based on the type of solvent that we use, the phase of the solvent, because the phase could be solid or it could be liquid or it could be gas. So depending upon the phase of the solvent that we use and also the phase of both our separation stage as well as the mobile phase, we determine the different types of chromatography. Now in any type of chromatography the idea is very simple. It depends on the phase separation. The phase separation works in the way, say, there are two different phases always present. One is called the stationary phase, which is kind of stagnant, which is fixed. It's known as the stationary phase. Another phase is known as the mobile phase, where the molecules move in either direction. It depends on how you run the process. So this is known as the mobile phase. So two different phases are present, and these are the two phases. But in among both these phases, the molecule that we want to separate, because the chromatography technique is all about separation of molecules based on their multiple properties like charge, their size and stuff, and we can separate molecules using this phase variance, because as these are the two different phases and they are changed, a difference between the phase and different molecules are present, different molecules will interact with these phase separations in different manner, and that will allow the molecules to be separated from each other. So in this case, the stationary phase could be solid or liquid, while the mobile phase can be either liquid or gaseous. So it depends on what kind of combination we have among them, and that will ultimately give us the name of different types of chromatography techniques. For example, if we can divide the chromatography based on the three different major phases like gas chromatography, liquid chromatography and supercritical fluid chromatography. Now, gas chromatography means the molecules that we want to separate will be in the gaseous form, while liquid chromatography means the molecules we want to separate will be in the liquid form. Now, the liquid form of the molecules could be either aqueous solution or organic solution. Either those molecules can be present in the water as aqueous solution, or they can be present in the organic solutions for the liquid type. Now for the aqueous type, the example is HPLC, high pressure liquid chromatography. Now in HPLC technique, the molecules are present in the aqueous solution, while in the organic solvent type, the example is thin layer chromatography, TLC, or paper chromatography, right? These are the organic solvent type. And finally, the supercritical fluid. In certain kinds of fluids are present which we cannot deal with either liquid or in the gaseous stage, because they carry too many different types of molecules as a mixture. We call them supercritical fluid, and for the separation of supercritical fluid we have different approach completely that we don't want to talk about much here. Majorly we'll talk about gas and liquid chromatography. So in gas chromatography we are separating gaseous molecules from each other. Mixture of gases will separate from each other, and there are two different types. Here is a gas liquid chromatography and a gas solid chromatography. Now gas liquid chromatography means the gas, we separate gas molecules, so mixture of gases, and we put them in the mobile phase. So mobile phase is consisting of gaseous molecules. This is the mobile phase, and the stationary phase will be liquid. Okay. The gas solid chromatography, in gas solid chromatography the mobile phase will be gases, because that's what we need to separate from each other, and the solid and the stationary phase will be the solid molecules. Okay, solid interacting with the gases. Now in the liquid chromatography, if we bring, there are different types like ion exchange chromatography, exclusion chromatography, and another type is known as the partition chromatography or absorption chromatography, which is also known as organic solvent related chromatography. Now in this case of ion exchange chromatography and molecule exclusion chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, in this case what we use the stationary phase solid and the mobile phase liquid. In exclusion chromatography also same thing, solid stationary phase, mobile phase, liquid. Okay, but the separation technique is different. In case of ion exchange chromatography, we separate hydrophilic molecules or polar molecules, and we separate charged molecules. We exchange charged molecules between each other. While in the molecular exclusion chromatography, we separate proteins or other molecules based on their size and hydrodynamic volume. What is hydrodynamic volume and how this exclusion chromatography works, how ion exchange chromatography works, you definitely need to know them, and please know them by watching my videos. The links are provided in the description, as well as you can find those videos in my channel. You can search it, you can get the playlist of the chromatography videos. The link is provided again in the description, so watch all the videos for better understanding. While in the other hand, the organic solution or solvent type of chromatography, two different examples, partition chromatography and liquid sorbent absorption chromatography, liquid solid absorbent. So in this case of both of the chromatographies, we use certain molecules. In both this case, we use dried molecules, with dried liquid. Now normally in ion exchange chromatography or exclusion chromatography, we use raw liquid solutions in the mixture. Let's say protein mixture, it contains in the liquid solution, completely liquid solution filled with different types of proteins. We separate them both in ion exchange as well as in the exclusion chromatography. While in these two types, we use dried liquid. Okay, dried liquid means we take the drop of liquid, we put it in a paper or in either silica plate or something, and we allow that liquid to get dried, and that is dried liquid. So once that liquid is dried, then we apply some organic solvent to take up that different fractions of the molecules that are present in the dried liquid and to be separated. The examples are paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography or TLC. In both the cases, we use dried liquid as a solvent, as an elutant, and then we separate them using the chromatography. So it's not pure liquid but dried liquid, still we put them in the liquid phase of chromatography. And we talked about the supercritical fluid. So this in a sense is all the different types of chromatography that we know of. So for any type of chromatography, you should know about what is the elutant type, whether it's gas or liquid. Normally the elutants that we use can be the mobile phase most of the time. In some cases it's not, in some cases we need to use something different. For example, in case of partition chromatography and the LS absorbent chromatography like TLC, in these two cases we cannot use those, the dried liquid that we use is the elutant, but the mobile phase is different. Here is the mobile phase or the organic solvent that we use. Okay, so that is the idea in this case. So that in a sense is a type of chromatography, and I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and definitely click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel to get more videos like that. Thank you.